Welcome back. You're watching the Corporate Tide. It's time now again to look at Mphasis earnings. The profits grew 2.6%, almost 3% quarter on quarter. We have management, Mr. Nitin, Rakesh, the CEO of Mphasis, now joining us. Mr. Rakesh, good morning and welcome to the show. First up, tell us, how was the quarter gone by? The profit growth seems to be good. Margin, there has been a slight decline again, but on the revenue front, a good 3% quarter on quarter growth. What are the driving factors?
I think overall we were pretty pleased with the performance of both revenue and other operational metrics for the quarter. And on a constant currency basis, gross revenue grew about 3.1% on a sequential basis and about 14% on a year-over-year basis. So I think consistent growth. We also stayed within our stated margin guidance band at 15.8 EBIT. Despite this being a seasonally difficult quarter, as well as our wage hikes going into impact this quarter. We did announce one acquisition of a cloud consulting company called Stelligent, focused on the AWS financial services network. So I think overall a good healthy performance through the quarter.
Right. Also help us understand in the context of fourth quarter trends. The third quarter again we have seen, as we were just talking about, how's the fourth quarter looking to you, and plus in the context of the 12 months, the next sort of FY20 deal trends, order wins, again, how is that looking to you?
I think it's too early to call for the next financial year. We'll probably give that update when we do the next quarter call. As far as Q4 is concerned, I think we do see the momentum of deal wins and revenue growth that we started in FY18 to sustain, and we are confident of above market growth in Q4 as well.
Right. In the context of client additions, how that has been, and in the context of new deal wins, how are they looking, especially again in the context of international business, broadly, both the parameters, how are they looking?
I think this was actually our highest client win quarter in terms of number of new client additions, because we've also started to focus a lot more on our new client acquisition process. So we added 10 new clients this quarter. In terms of the sustainability of that, I think that's a fairly strong part of our growth story. So we do think we'll be able to sustain growth from new clients, probably at a much higher clip than the rest of the company, because that becomes a growth driver for us. Same for new client wins. I think we are tracking. We had our best year for TCV wins in FY18. Even on top of that, we are actually seeing healthy double-digit growth in our TCV wins for the year as well. So I think we do think this is something that will sustain our growth for the next few quarters as well.
Right. Nitin, also talk about more about again Stelligent systems and how this will be beneficial to your company.
I think it is an AWS premier consulting partner focusing on the DevOps, automation and cloud deployment capability. So that does become a pretty important capability for us to seed into a number of our client engagements, both existing as well as new. They're one of the few companies in the world that have 100% AWS certification status. That definitely means that the quality of engineers are well certified by AWS. And that's definitely something that we believe will give us good ability to deploy on AWS, which is probably the premier public cloud network. We're also focused on expanding our overall cloud capability outside of AWS as well. But this is something that was very important from a strategic perspective, and we are glad we were able to execute on this.
Right, Nitin, thanks a lot, and all the wishes to you for the fourth quarter, and that's Mphasis. The results quarter on quarter were actually showing some good growth. Even if we take a look at the financials here, net profit up almost 2.6% versus the last quarter, revenue up 2.9% versus the last quarter. How's the stock doing? Good volumes, a sort of a mild positive reaction, a flattish reaction against how the market is giving at present. But as they're saying, they are looking at double-digit growth again for the total contract value. Order wins actually are going to sustain the growth momentum. Again, that's all looking fine again, as the management saying. From there, again, let's now bring the focus on the two stocks which have results today, which are going to be in the limelight. Both are heavyweights. And the first one again is